The lovely Nintendo company has a wonderful online service called the eShop.
Good old eShop.
It's where you can get demos and games digitally for your Nintendo 3DS family of systems, because there's so many now.
Right. 3DS has a lot of relatives.
Your Wii U, because it is technically still active on the Wii U, and of course the Nintendo Switch. You can also pre-order games. You can even, once you pre-order a game, usually they set up the pre-orders about 2 weeks in advance, I want to say, is when I've seen them pop up, and they let you preload the game so that once the release date hits, you just download a very small little file that basically unlocks the game for you to play. So they've made it very convenient. They've caught up with their competitors. With the exception of one little aspect.
What is that one thing, Steven?
They don't let you cancel your pre-orders.
Gasp.
Your digital pre-orders,
yes.
We're talking about here. In fact, pretty much everyone else does. You can talk about Sony, Microsoft, Ubisoft, Valve, through Steam. You can cancel your pre-orders there. Even the company straight from the pit of hell itself, EA, lets you cancel.
Why do you hate EA?
Because they're terrible.
Why?
The
games they make?
You should watch some of our recent podcasts.
Okay. Noted.
They're just, they're...
I'll check it out.
They're the scum of the earth.
Okay. Moving on.
This little policy that they have where all game sales are final, according to Nintendo, including digital pre-orders, has caught the attention of the Norwegian Consumer Council, and they have come out saying that this is in direct conflict with the Consumer Rights Directive. And what that is, it is a law passed in 2011 which grants what they quote as saying a higher level of protection for consumers in their own country or elsewhere in the European Union. And one of the provisions in the law is that it does allow for consumers must be able to cancel any online purchases and receive refunds within 2 weeks of the cancellation. So those two things are important. So of course Nintendo doesn't let you cancel your pre-order, so you're naturally not going to get any form of refund. Nintendo has commented on this story and basically said that no, everything's fine. What are you talking about? We're in compliance with the all the laws in Europe. We're good. We're good.
Not really, though.
But you're not.
No.
If the law says you must be able to cancel an online order, it doesn't matter if it's a pre-order. An order is an order. Mm-hmm. A transaction is a transaction. So this seems pretty clear cut. Like Nintendo may have to at least change their policy in Europe. What do you think?
I think I don't know. It's kind of, it is shady. It's like what if someone pre-orders a game without giving a ton of thought, and then they look into it and they find out some stuff. I don't know. They find out, man, maybe I don't actually want to get this right now. Or
they need the money for something else. Or especially with parents, if you store your credit card information for to buy digital stuff for your kids, and then they figure out the password and then they're just buying stuff and you can't cancel that.
Yeah.
Apple's been running into trouble with that, with their games on their app stores where people, even the great Kanye West has even come out against these apps that have in-game purchases and have no way of going back and canceling them.
Right, and it should be the most simplest, the simplest form of refund. It's something you don't actually even have.
Right.
You've just given money, and they've given you nothing, so it should be no problem. Okay, no problem. We didn't give you anything. You don't have to give us anything back. Here's your money. You know what I mean? It should work that way.
It really has become a little bit too easy to get money from people for online stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I know it takes a password, and they have they've secured it to an extent. But even in the other situations, even if it's not an accidental purchase, what if you just decide you don't like it? Maybe, let's say a game comes out and it's getting horrible reviews.
Right, exactly. They're like, I don't want this.
And
Nintendo's just like,
changes.
sorry, we got your money.
All
It's
sales
ours.
are final.
Yeah. No, wait. Is the law in it's like the Norwegian law or whatever? Is that like is their law saying that everything should be refundable? Like even like wait, no. So they already refund, like Nintendo refunds games that you can buy, like eShop games, right? It's just the pre-orders that's the issue.
No, in the entire eShop, you can't get refunds at all.
Oh, okay. And so like even the non-pre-orders, is that in violation? That's in violation of like the law thing?
Yeah, all of it is.
Okay.
But the weird part about this is with, I want to say with Steam, you have about 2 weeks until you get a refund on something.
Right, because they don't want you to have time to beat the whole
Yeah, I mean, but 2 weeks is
it is
a generous amount of time to play something and decide like, okay, this is garbage. I want to get something else. And it needs to work that way. I mean, you can't. I'm a physical games kind of person. Like I like to have a physical copy. I did something a lot of people would probably find stupid. I actually got a code for the Shadow of the Colossus on PlayStation 4. Played the game on the digital version, but I still had to get the disc because I still wanted to have that physical copy. So I'm me and a lot of gamers who grew up with video games that are my age. They still want that digital copy.
I prefer it too. I don't like.
Well, it's shady too, because if you lose your system or if your system breaks, there's a good chance that you lose your library and you can't re-download it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's possible, but I remember when I got a new PlayStation 3 and I could not, like my first PlayStation 3 just flat out broke, and I had all these downloaded games on there that weren't released physically. I was just thinking, I hope I don't have to re-download them all again. And I got on the phone with someone from Sony, and he helped me like get everything moved on there. But he basically told me, he's like, we only do this once for your account. Like if anything happens to this PlayStation 3, same situation, it's gone. You're gonna have to rebuy stuff. And that made me mad just hearing that.
Why? They can't just help you again?
Apparently not. Apparently they only do it once.
That's weird, but okay.
I know. It's crazy. It's like, look, this is digital. Like this is supposed to be the advantage.
If it's superior, prove it.
Right? Exactly. Because I'm saving you money because you don't have to produce the case and the disc that it comes on and then ship it, because that takes, and then have the store hold it in a brick and mortar store or Amazon if you're doing Amazon. You don't have any of that overhead to deal with, whereas digitally all you're doing is you're just uploading it to your server. And yeah, you have server costs, but that's nothing compared to shipping stuff out, and physically making something. So it's like, if you want this to be superior, and same thing with Nintendo. Nintendo used to put out these videos on the 3DS eShop, how it kind of like almost made fun of people that still bought games digital or physically, when they were trying to convince people, hey, buy your games physically. I keep mixing them up. Buy your games digitally so you don't lose them like a loser. Just stuff like that. You're not really making your case though when you don't allow.
You can lose them either way.
Yeah, and you don't allow for, if you don't, the return policy. Like I'm kind of meh on it. Like if you get the game and you want to return it, even though you have it digital, what are you returning? You're not really returning something in tandem. But pre-orders definitely, I think, should be
exactly. It's like I said, it's like, otherwise it's just, no, we're gonna keep your money. Yeah,
it's definitely shady. I mean, normally I think, especially with like EU stuff, like a lot of times it overreaches, but not here. Like I think it's pretty obvious Nintendo's easily in the wrong.
Yeah, as usual.